Hi everyone and welcome back to Project 4. Well, this Project 4 has taken a few goes at this, so this is take 3. My camera keeps stopping for some reason. But anyway, we'll get to it. So this card is called an open book easel, which is absolutely gorgeous. So this one here you could use as a sympathy, or you could turn it into a birthday card. So what I had been working on was just to do it a little bit different. So we can do it as a children's card here. So I've done a couple of these pink ones. So now we're going to try again, and we're going to do it in the blue colourway. So we're still using our very Versatiles, so because I need to use this printing bit here to look like that it's in the book writing, and we're going to use our Zany Zebras, which is a gorgeous little kids stamp set with all the zebras. And then we're going to be using some watercolour pencils and our blender pens. So way back when I started many years ago, blender pens were write-in, and they go a little bit unnoticed, but they're very versatile, our blender pens, because they can blend with pencils, our ink and our Stampin' Write markers. Okay, so we'll get started. I'll just put those aside a little bit and we'll start on our cardstock. So you'll have all the sizes in your instructions. So, but the actual card base is just your normal card base size, which is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4, and we're going to put the 8 1/4 inch up the top, so where we're going to score. So you're going to score using your scoring blade at 2 inches, and then 4 1/8. And that's all the scoring you need to do. So we're just going to put that aside. And then we're just going to fold our card. So we're just going to fold down. I'm just going to burnish both sides because you need it to be burnished well. And then on that second, well, the first one really, the first thing, you're just going to fold it up. So you have a piece of cardstock that looks like so. Just going to turn this over and burnish down this side as well. So that's the base of the card really. That's all we have to do. So now I'm just going to get our little bits I need. So what I'm going to do is adhere some designer series paper up the top. We just want to centre that in there. And then a little bit down the bottom. So that one's on the top flap, and this piece is down the bottom. So that's how your cardstock will look at this time. So when you fold that down, it looks like so. Just got some glue on my hands. Now with our tiny little trim bits here, you're going to put your designer series paper strip just going to layer it up onto your little bit of blue cardstock. Yours might be different colour, you'll be all getting different colourways because I've used so much paper. I'll have to use what I've got. And then we're going to get some dimensionals because we need to dimensional this onto here. So this is where, so this strip here, so this is where your book actually rests to sit up. So we just need 3 dimensionals across here. I'm just rubbing my fingernail along there to lift those. and you just put it up about 3/4 of an inch. Oops. So that's just raised up, so that'll be our resting point. So we'll just put that aside now. Now we'll bring in our rest of our bits. This is our little cheated bit we've already done. So I can show you that first actually. So I'm going to stamp an image of our little zebra. So we're using our Memento black ink. And we're just going to ink up our stamp. Stamp. So this is the one I did before to show you that you didn't get to see. So now we're going to show you in the blue. So now once we've done that, we're just going to take our watercolour pencils. I'm just using the Night of Navy and Pacific Point, and all I'm going to do is just do a quick little colour across where all the black is. I'm no artist, I need stamps so I can create pictures. So you don't have to put much colour on, you're just putting a few lines of the blue on. And then I'm going to use the navy to just do a little bit around his mouth and his hooves. You're just adding a little bit of colour there and a bit on his tail. Then you're going to take your blender pen, it doesn't matter which end because they're both exactly the same. Just remember when you've got your blender pens, don't store them up like this because the fluid in the pen will run to either end, so you always store them flat. So you just take your blender pen and you're just going to rub across where you've coloured and just drag that colour around. So you can bring it blended in as much as you like or just blend it a little bit. So if you haven't got enough colour somewhere, you can just pick it up off somewhere else and take it up. So now, because I'm going to light, from light colour to a darker colour, I can just go straight on to the next colour to blend that in. Blend his hooves. So if you were going from dark to light, you would actually just roll your pen like so to get the colour off, and then you can continue on to the next one. I could continue over here. So you just... So that's as easy it is, and that gives you a pretty cute little zebra. So the bad thing about this is you have to actually hand cut it out. So that's why I'd already done mine earlier. So that's just showing you how to use the watercolour pencils and the blender pens. So I can put that aside now, and I'll bring in the pieces for your actual book. This bit's going to go on the back, so we'll just leave that there. So now we have a white piece of cardstock, then some designer series paper, then some more white, and they're all just cut down a little bit more. So what we're going to do firstly is fold them all in half. So you're just going to fold them in half. Vanish it down. Okay, so keep them in their orders. So we're going to take our big piece of white first. Place it down, so I want this piece up. So you're going to use your tear and tape. So this bit is where it actually sticks onto this back flap. So we only want to stick this top 2 inches. So all we're going to do is go down this spine only about 2 inches, or not even quite that. That will be plenty. So we're going to do it on each end and the spine. And I've run out of tape. Lucky I have another one. So that's your first piece. Then we'll get the next one. Open it out. Now on the rest of them, we're going all the way down the spine and all the way down each edge. You could use glue with this, but it would be a little bit messy, so I recommend tear and tape. And our last one, so before I actually add the glue to that, I'm going to stamp our writing on it. So I'm just using the Night of Navy. I'm going to ink up, going to stamp off a little bit, and then stamp to one side, and stamp. And that just gives you the look of the words in a book. So I'm now going to flip that over and continue on with our glue, with our tear and tape, sorry. Right down the spine and both edges. Now if you haven't got this stamp set to do the writing, I'm sure that you could get a Stampin' Write marker and just do some little wriggly lines across. It would be exactly the same. Okay, so now what we want to do, I'll make sure I've got clean hands, is we're going to actually distress this paper a little bit because we want to put a curve in it. I've seen videos where people have rolled it on pens, but I don't really think that's necessary. Just take your time and just use your bone folder and just tease out the paper a little bit. Just break up those fibres. I'm just going to, and the biggest piece of the cardstock is the most difficult. So you can just see that it's bent a little bit. Then we're going to do the designer series paper, which is a little bit easier. So that's that one. And then our last piece. And they're all just got that little bit of a twist in it. Now what we're going to do is put them all together. So we're going to have this one laying down here, and we're going to use the biggest DSP one. So just fold that line again. And I'm just going to get my pick tool to get that off. So we just fold it and fold this up a little bit because you want to get it in the middle. Like so. And just push that down. Now we're going to get this end off. So how you need to put this one down and just push that side back a fraction, because you want to keep that bow in your page. So just push that back a fraction just to keep the bow in the page. So you get that little bow. Now we're going to do the whisper white. I'm just going to bend this up, get it in the middle. Put this down, just bend that back a fraction. So bend in the middle. And your last one. And you can see how this creates the little book. So just put a bit of pressure in the centre bit. Just a bit of pressure there. And that creates your book. Just clear this a bit. So now we're going to bring this bit back in, and you can see now I've got the writing upside down, but that doesn't matter, no one's going to see it. These little bits are actually going to stick here. So we're just going to take these 3 off. And how good is that pick tool? So now we're just going to lay that flat and just get it in the centre, like so. Just push that down, bend it like so, and that's how your little open book sits. So now we're going to decorate it with our little zebras. So I'm actually going to just glue this one up here. So I'm going to glue him here and add a dimensional here. Just hold that for a minute because it's on a bit of a bow where the book is. And this happy birthday, it's out of this. It's a great happy birthday, wild about you, kick your heels up, that's great. And it's just the rectangle dies, rectangle stitch dies. So I'm just going to stick him under there and stick it. So just add a bit of glue here and here. It's up to you really where you want it, it doesn't really matter. And that will just stick in there like that. So then you're just going to sit that up it. So there is your easel, open book easel card. So how easy is that? And you can make just so many different varieties. So I'll just show you the few I've got now. Soon we've got so many. So we've got the blue colourway one. And we have the pink. So you can have the boys or the girls. And then we have, like this one can be a sympathy, or you can turn it into a birthday card. So now I just haven't quite finished, because with this card you've sort of you could put a couple of bits of white in there, but I just thought it would be easier to just put a piece of white on the back. So all I'm going to do is ink up the zebra again, do a little zebra on there, and I've already done the envelope. I've just done a little zebra on the envelope, and I'm just going to add it to the back of the card. So when you're writing on it, it'll be just on the bottom once they get the card, but that's okay. If you want to, you can add a couple of little white bits to the centre, but I thought this was just as easy. So your card will be flat like that in the envelope, and then it will sit up like so, and that fits in to an ordinary envelope like so. So I'll just show you the other projects we made as well throughout the day, just so you've got your gift carrier box. You have your little bow that you made, and you've got your vintage card. So ladies, thank you very much for joining me again for the online classes, and I'll see you again next month. Bye.